Greetings everybody. So today I have Tales of Aria just been released, Flesh and Blood, a card game I'm very excited about, which I think is a very good investment personally. Once again, if you're new, you just need to write down in the comments your favourite card and you can win it. However, there is a caveat for this time, because I actually collect Flesh and Blood a little bit myself. So if I pull a Fabled somehow, or a Legendary, or a Cold Foil, I'm not giving them away, I'm hanging on to those. So that's the only thing with this one. So otherwise you can put anything down you want. So I actually really like Flesh and Blood. I think value wise and collectability wise it's one of the better card games at the moment. So let's just have a look at what we've got and get straight into it. So we've got our first rare, Embolden. We've got Biting Gar for a rare. And a foil common, Entwined Lightning. So once again, cold foil, a legendary, or if I somehow pulled a Fabled, I'm hanging on to it. The rest are all up for grabs. So that doesn't disappoint too many of you. But being a bit of a Flesh and Blood fan, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So good luck everyone. I'll draw in 7 days as per usual, and I've recently done a couple of other videos, so if you go back, probably 7 days may not have clips for them either, so you can have a look at those and enter those as well. Evergreen and Sigil of Suffering and a foil common. So it seems to go rare, and then that's possibly rare or higher, and then our foil. I think that's what they're doing with these, and it's in the middle of the pack, so nothing to get excited about after the middle, which actually makes sense because then they're better protected if they're in the middle of the pack. So yeah, so I was able to quite easily get a pack of this, unlike I never was able to get a first edition Monarch because the hype was so huge around Flesh and Blood. Everyone went gangbusters, so I couldn't get one. Bolt and Shot and Lightning Press for a rare and a foil rare, Weave Ice. Okay, so I think the end of them are all commons. Yeah, so the calling was all accounts very, very successful, which is very pleasing. Should add some, I can't think the right word, but a bit of excitement to the game. Some more people join up and want to play. The game grows. So what do we got here? We've got Snapshot for a rare and our first Majestic, Blink. Now I'm pretty positive Blink is one of the more highly sought after Majestics. So there you go, that might enter the comments for a few. And a common foil. So is that even a cold foil? I do not own a cold foil, so I'm not 100% sure. Probably not, though it looks a bit around the edge. Okay, I'll have to look that up. So I don't even know what a cold foil looks like, to be honest. But the prices have come down substantially in the last few months. The game started off, when it first started, everyone was giving it a bit of a look. And then it became really big and grew because it's such a good game. And everyone started collecting it madly. There's your first rare, Weave Ice, and Weave Earth, and a common foil. Yeah, so everyone really got into it, and so the price of the early edition stuff went off because everyone realised it was probably going to be around to stay. So if they could get some of the early stuff, they might be on a bit of a financial winner. So when Monarch came around, the excitement was still there, and I went over the top. And now it's come back a bit. Not that it's a bad investment still, but the excitement was a bit too extreme. Flash and Rites of Lightning for a rare and a common foil. So how's this going to pan out? Tales of Aria will probably just be accepted like most other things from all the other card games, you know. Will probably age quite well. but it's not going to have that huge spike that Monarch did. And of course, I don't know if you follow this at all, explosive growth, and a second majestic channel, Mount Heroic. And there we've got a majestic foil. Okay, light it up. Okay, so it's 3 majestics already. Pretty happy with that. And of course now MetaZoo came out, and it's just gone gangbusters because everyone's thinking, oh, it might do a Flesh and Blood, I better get in early straight away, it's the first set. Big difference is, a lot of people have done that with MetaZoo, they're hoarding it, they're putting it to the side, and we don't actually know if it's going to be successful or not. There's a lot of hype. Will that hype remain? Yeah, I mean it might. Turn Timber, Weave Lightning, and I must say I've never played it, and Bolt and Shot for your foil. Oh, I reckon that's it. That's a cold foil. It's a common though, but there you go. I thought it was silver around the sword. I got a cold foil. So sorry guys, you're not having that. So do not put that in the comments. That one's for my collection. So my first cold foil. Pity it's a common, but it's a cold foil, so there you go. Well done me. So make sure you do not put that one in the comments, because if you do, you are not going to win it. Okay. Yeah, but anyway, so they're looking for the next big card game that could go ballistic like Flesh and Blood did, and everyone's just gambling on MetaZoo doing that. So, I don't know, I think that's fairly risky. I think you're better off going back and still buying early cards from Flesh and Blood, which is what I'm trying to do. Majestics, providing our first edition. Majestics, legendaries are very expensive, so I don't know if you can afford that. I mean, if you can, you'll probably be good in the long run. Summer, Wood Shelter, Cold Vein, and that wasn't, yeah, and there's a foil one, Snow Under. Okay, yeah, so where was I going with that? Yeah, so I mean, we don't even know the popularity of it, whereas we know Flesh and Blood has been quite successful, the calling was big, so its future looks pretty good. And I did some little number crunching, just 'cause that's what I do, because I couldn't find it anywhere, so I thought I'd have to work it out myself. But as far as the number of different types of cards, assuming they're printed the same quantity of each, every legendary, what do we got here? We've got Fastfong and Embolden and common. So every legendary from Welcome to Wrath and Arc, there's only 800 of them, of each card that is, only 833 by my calculations. So if this game keeps going, that is ridiculously collectible. So if you've got one of them, well done. Your Majestics, I think there's 3,333 of each. Sigil, Suffering, Icequake, and there's your foil. Got a bit excited then. Yeah, so 3,333 of all your Majestics. And then, now, I think the value for money one is super rares, because they are substantially cheaper than Majestic, and according to my calculations, there'd be about 4,444 of each super rare, and that's in the world. So according to print numbers, Evergreen, Ice Storm, or a Majestic, there we go, you might want to whack that one in. Earth Action for a rare foil, yeah. And then what do we got? Rares, I think there's about 15,000 of each, so then it suddenly jumps up a lot. And commons, there's around 30,000 of each, so you might be waiting well to make any money on the commons and rares, depending how the game goes. I mean, of course, if this game flops in the future and does nothing, then your investment's gonna not be very good. But if it does what I think it's going to do, I think it's a very good investment, which is why I'm trying to buy first edition WTRs and ARCs where I can. Turn Timber, Icequake, and a Majestic foil, Force of Nature. This is a very nice pack, I think. Okay, is that 5 Majestics? One of them being a foil? Wow, I'm doing really well. Yeah, so anyway, only trouble here is TCG Player are no longer selling cards to us in Australia. Would you believe it? Because of COVID and because Australia's basically totally shut down. Well, they said they're not going to sell us any more cards because our postal service is so crap at the moment. Embolden, Bolton Shot, and Glacial Footsteps. So they're talking about us opening up properly before Christmas, providing enough of us get vaccinated, or bad luck buddy, you're not going anywhere. So hopefully we can start ordering again, but at the moment I can only buy things on eBay, and not a lot of Flesh and Blood hit the Australian eBay for some reason. Anyway, what do we got? Evergreen Rare and Lighted Up Majestic. Is that 5? I've lost count. 5 or 6. There we go. And we've already had a cold foil, so we probably won't get another one of them. But remember, the one you like, just whack it in the comments, and it could be yours. It could be yours. Simple as that. Subscribe, because there'll be more videos coming. Yeah. So done 3 back to back basically, so you can enter the other ones. You've still got time probably. Signal of Suffering and Rites of Lightning, Mulch. Yeah, so if you're someone who just likes to open boxes and flip them, if you want history to be any guide, you pretty much want to open these and sell them straight away, because once the unlimited pack comes out in who knows when, a couple of months or whatever, the prices take a very big hit. So you, of course, when there's only these are the only option, but for players, get the unlimited ones, more cards come out and they can get them cheaper, so they do, which is actually good overall for the game itself. A Lightning Press, Snapshot, and a foil Signal of Suffering. Of course, the only, unless you're keeping them long term, like I will keep that cold foil long term. Yeah, so you're best off, if that's the thing, if you want to make money from opening, you pretty much want to put them on the market straight away. So I don't know what the EV on this box is, but you probably, if you do it flash, Weave Ice, and there's your common foil. If you do it quick enough, you probably can make a little bit of money, depending on your box, of course. I think this box probably would. We've had 5 Majestics. Don't know how good that. I'm positive Blink's a really good card though, so that one will probably end up in the comments more than anything. Yeah, but I think if you Frostfang, tear asunder for another Majestic, Embolden Rare Foil. So if you're thinking like I am that this game's got legs, especially with all the big calling and tournaments, that's just fantastic, then I'd probably be trying to collect some first edition, especially from WTR, just because that's where it all started. Arc had the same print run, but it wasn't the first, but still it's going to be very, very good. Crucible, not too bad, but then the print number started to go up, of course, with Monarch and stuff, and a lot of people have hoarded Monarch. Weave Lightning, Explosive Growth, so whereas the other ones probably weren't hoarded as much. Okay, so yeah, anyway, that's my take on things. Got what, 3 packs to go, might be 4. So getting towards the end, and we've had 6 Majestics, I think. We've even had our cold foil. It was a common, but it's still better than nothing. Okay, what do we got for a rare? Cold Wave and Overflex. And did I miss one? I did. Weave Earth. Okay. Yep. Alright. Couple of packs to go. Just remember... Oh, 3 packs to go. Write down your favourite card. and it could be coming your way, we hope. All those Flesh and Blood fans growing, I believe the game is, because it's just a really fun game. Summon Shelter, Turn Timber, and Blizzard Bolt. I mean, that's you need a good product, you need collectability, and it needs to be a really fun game. See, I don't really know if Metazoo's come out and proven that I mean, I really don't know, proven that it's a really fun game. So the collectability's there, but if you don't get people wanting to play it, so I just think it's really risky. Anyway, Ice Quake, Flash Freeze, oh, another Majestic, there you go, and that's your foil. So yeah, not saying I might even do a box opening of it one day. I'm certainly not anti it. I just really think the value is in Flesh and Blood at the moment, especially after it comes down, like a lot of cards come down 50 or so %, just because everyone got so stupidly hyped up after Monarch that it was out of control and it had to come back. Cold Wave, Summerwood Shelter. But I mean, if you got in early and were buying, say, a card for $100 and it went up to $500, and then it's come back to $200, you know, you've still done pretty good. But of course, if you bought at the top, you're hating it. But the overall long-term projection, I think, is still very good. Okay, so that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Write down your favourite card in there. There was no legendaries, or a fabled, of course, but you can grab one of the mythics or whatever. Subscribe. Thank you. I'll see you for my next video. Bye.